Joining me right now is one of Australia's finest, Darwin Sagurit. He is a bantamweight, but he goes everywhere. He's in flyweight, he's at featherweight, wherever you want to meet him, he's there for you. What's going on, Darwin?
Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Good.
That's great.
Good. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about before we talk fight stuff is I want to talk to you about like how, you have Filipino blood. How did your family originally get to Australia?
Um, Long story short, uncle was over here first. He invited us over, and my dad followed, I guess, where his brother is. So that's how we got here.
How old were you when you got to Australia?
Oh, three. I was 3 years old.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you don't really have much memory of living
No,
there.
not at all. I've only been there a couple of times.
All right. Now, Australian top team. When did you
Yeah.
join, and how did you get linked up with them?
Okay. I joined with them probably about 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and I've been going. I started off as kickboxing, just floating from here and there. I didn't really want to compete. I mean, I did in some way, but not professional where I am now. But I started with kickboxing, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go try a different place and try a bit of grappling, and I thought, you know what, I love fighting so much, I'm gonna try and compete. So I did that, not knowing I'm gonna go get the brace belt or the Minotaur belt, and from there on, I just kept going, I guess, and yeah, it's good fun.
You you started your MMA career in 2013, but you weren't very young. You started kind of late for most
Yeah,
MMA fighters.
yeah,
And you started off with brace, of course. You lost two in a row.
yeah,
At that moment, what kept you going? Most people would have quit, but you kept going, and then you got the brace title. So can you explain that?
yeah. Just made me more hungry. You know what I mean? It made me believe that there's something in there that I could compete in and get better in. So it was just like a challenge for me. You know what I mean? So I kept doing what I wanted to do, and I followed through. So,
So when you won the brace bantamweight title in 2016, what were your emotions like at that time?
oh man, it was crazy. It was like, fuck, I finally got something. You know what I mean? But prior to that, I did get the Minotaur belt, and it just kept going from there. So I want to get every belt possible if I can. But fighting's always been in my life. I've always wanted to fight, but I always got in trouble for fighting. So I thought, I'll do it the correct way and do it inside a ring or a cage. You know what I mean?
What do you
So,
mean you always got in trouble for fighting?
when I was a teenager, which is a long, long time ago, in and out of trouble with just people and the surroundings who I was with, just bad people and that. And the area that I live in was surrounded all those type of people. You have to be sort of tough to, I'm not a real big guy, but I'm a small guy, so you have to be tough in the area that I live in. Otherwise, you would just get bullied. So I sort of grew up in that field. So that's why I love fighting so much. You know what I mean? Never wanted
Sure.
to compete.
Oh, really? Well, now you get to do it for fun, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Your last fight at Hex 11, you dropped down to flyweight for the first time, and
Yeah.
your power just transferred over. Usually it doesn't happen that way, but you came out first round knockout. It was very impressive, man. Like when you got that win, how did you feel?
Oh man, it was great, man. Like, coming from against a veteran UFC veteran, I was really proud of myself. We trained really hard for that fight, so I got the results. You know what I mean? You train hard for what you get. So
Your next fight is at bantamweight. So
yeah.
are you gonna go back down to flyweight?
If talks of me going down the flyweight, say for example in the UFC, I could go down the flyweight, but I would prefer bantamweight. I mean, I'm not a very like big guy, but it's just I like bantamweight, the bigger guys and stronger people, more challenge for me, I guess, than the smaller guys. You know what I mean? I'm a small guy myself, but yeah.
But if you can knock out flyweights, why not go down there and
Yeah,
show
why
some
not?
people?
It is an option. It can be an option. I could even fight at featherweight if I wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, three straight first round knockouts. Um, What can you say about that? Like, do you feel right now is the time for you to get some wins and get to the UFC?
I'm hoping that, that's part of my dream, it's changed from winning a couple of belts to saying, you know what, let's try and get somewhere with this. You know what I mean? I've sacrificed all my family time, and I've got 4 kids at home, and I've sacrificed a lot of time away from my kids and my wife, to try and pursue something in this sport. So see what happens. Just work hard, and just dig deep. You know what I mean?
You said that you spend a lot of time away from your wife and your kids. Like, how much sacrifice,
A
is
lot,
it
man.
for you, man? Like, most people don't really talk about it in depth, but how much is it for you?
A lot, man. A lot. I've got grown kids. I've still got like a young 7-year-old, and my eldest daughter's she's in university. She's 19. So I've always been, juggling my whole life, and my whole dream is for my family to be happy. You know what I mean? So I think, doing this sport and trying to get closer to where I want to be will make my family comfortable. So, which gets the stress off all of us. So
For sure. Now
yeah,
you're going to be fighting at Hex Fight Series 13 against a young Korean fighter,
yeah.
Jung-Hyun Ahn in Melbourne. He's very aggressive. He comes forward. He's not afraid to get hit. He takes a lot of damage. Do you think that's going to be a weakness against you?
Oh, you know what? I mean, I don't really look at the style of fighter that these guys do. I just get out there and I do what I do, and I do what I know how to do. You know what I mean? And that's how I judge things. I'm not gonna judge somebody on how they are, or how they stand, on what movement they make, or they're a hard hitter, or they take punches, because anything can go wrong. Anything can happen inside the cage. You know what I mean? It's inside the cage what counts. So I just judge it on that. I wait for my moment inside that cage until what I'm gonna do.
You said that you go into the cage and you just react to the fighter. You don't really think too much about what they're doing previous to that. So when you prepare for a fight, is it always the same or do you make changes as you go?
Well, we make little changes here and there to suit the type of opponent that I'm fighting, but we don't go and study them like, textbook studies and video recordings and stuff like that. No, we don't go do that. We just enhance our things, the things that we do well, we try and do better. You know what I mean? Work around and the things like that. So
You found out your opponent maybe, let's say, 2 weeks. Was it
yeah,
2 weeks before the fight's going to happen? Do
yeah.
you like that better? Do you like to not know who you're going to fight, or do you want to know, like a month out or 2 months out?
I, like I said, man, like it doesn't matter who I fight, really. I'd like to fight people in the UFC. That's what really matters. You know what I mean? Like, Demetrius Johnson, and all those things, all those big people. I like to fight them, but obviously, I got to get through these other little people before I get there. So I'm not really worried, but I still got my eyes wide open. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that, when you look at it, you're looking at the long run, going to the UFC,
That's
fighting
what I mean.
the top guys in the world. When you go there, when you debut, who would you like to fight? What's an exciting guy that you watch and you're like, hey, my
Oh
style is
man,
this?
I would like to fight that dude. What's his name? He fought Demetrius Johnson. What's his name? William or Wilson? That bold,
Wilson Hayes?
Yeah, he's sort of similar to my look, my height, and I thought, you know what, man, I'll be mad fight between me and him. I think he's ranked number 4 or 5 or something, or 6. I'm not sure, but it'd be great to fight that dude. Even Ben 10 or anything, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even fight. I wouldn't even like in bantamweight. I'd love to fight a lot of people too. That Julius, so I reckon he ain't even that good, Just anybody really. Yeah.
Watching your fights and watching your highlight reel, I would think a fight between you and John Lineker would be a great, great matchup.
Oh yeah, I don't even
Yeah.
know that guy.
Well, he's supposed to be the knockout king of the bantamweight division.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Man, if you got his number, hook us up. Let's make this happen.
Oh, you're moving back up to bantamweight in this fight. You
Yeah.
said that you will fight anywhere, but what advantages do you think you have most at this weight class?
At bantamweight,
Yeah.
man, I'm really strong in bantamweight, dude. I don't have the best of skills. You know what I mean? I just do what I love doing best. You know what I mean? I love to fight and knock out people. That's how it is. That's the fight game. And I'm not the guy can punch like me, the guy can kick like me, but it's just how it ends up. You know what I mean? I mean, both people are both warriors, and I don't judge anybody who's better than this or better than that. But it just depends on how you would want to fight. You know what I mean?
What is your prediction for this fight against the young Korean?
Everybody always asks that question, eh? I don't know, dude. I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again, bro. I'm telling him to knock him out. That's what I do best.
All right, Darwin. Thank you for your time, man, and I'll definitely be watching.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Thank you very much, man. Tell what's his name? John?
Yeah, Jung-Hyun Ahn.
John, say thank you very much for taking the fight.
For sure.
And I'll see him soon.